We're excited.
Oh yeah, now we are recording now. So welcome back to the crew call. Uh, Scooters, we are with Stephanie Novak, and who seems to be in her living room with us today, which is very exciting.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. She's one of my very dearest friends that I've known forever. Although Jared would say, her husband would say we were friends first, but I don't.
That's what he says. We fight about it all the time. She's my friend. No, she's my friend.
We're so happy you're with us today. And Steph is with a global energy company. And what is it? What do you do something in marketing? You do something important in marketing. What do you do?
Yes, I'm a marketing manager, like you said, at a global retail energy company. Right now, our focus is really on the B2B side and in the digital space. So all of our small businesses can actually transact and purchase energy solutions online. So that's really been my main area of focus, is getting getting small businesses to be able to come to the site, understand energy retail supply, sign up for different energy solutions.
So you also have two boys that are
I do.
at this moment. So where are they right as you're doing this?
They are at grandma's. We've been taking them still to my mom's. That's the only place that we've really gone since, I think, March 14th or 15th.
Yep.
My husband and I both work. We're both working from home. So as much as we love them dearly, nothing would get done if they were present. So we've been trying to keep them on a consistent schedule, waking up at the same time, taking them over there, working our day, and then picking them up a little early so that we can enjoy a little bit more family time too.
How has it been being home?
It's a little crazy. I mean, you guys know we like to do things. We're very extroverted. We want to be out and about, and it's difficult to be confined and not really be allowed to do those things, especially having two little ones. I don't think we realized how much we did do. And now that those options are not available and we have to stay home, and we're trying to keep them entertained, but we're also trying to keep our sanity, but we're also trying to look on the bright side and say, we have everything we need. We have a roof over our head. We have food on our plates. We have our jobs, and those are a lot of things that other people don't have right now. So we're trying to count our blessings versus looking at the things that were taken away from us, per se.
How have the kids been? And then we'll talk about communication with marketing, but how have the kids been? I mean, Luke's old enough to know, like, something's a little different. Like, why is mom home?
Yes.
Why am I inside all the time?
Exactly. Well, Luke just turned 4 years old, and then Samuel will be 2 in June. So Samuel's he's very young. He doesn't really understand what's going on. I think he has a sense that something's different because he typically goes to daycare 2 days a week, and he hasn't been there for 3 weeks. So even though he's young, they have a sense that something's different. With Luke, who is 4, he's definitely has questions, and he's enjoying it, I would say, at a bit, but at the same time, his routine is messed up, and little kids in routine is very important. Mm-hmm. So trying to make sure that he's in preschool, so they send different assignments and things to him, and we're trying to work on those things. I'm thankful that he only goes 2 weeks or 2 days a week in the morning, so the assignments aren't super robust like a lot of school-age children.
Right.
But he definitely knows something's going on. He asked me the other day, when the virus is done, are we going to be able to go to his friend's house? And I've never used that word with him, so I'm assuming my mom or the news he's gotten it from. But he did say the other day that he wanted to make a picture for this little girl in his class. And I said, okay, why don't you draw the picture? I'll take a picture of it and send it to her mommy, and her mommy can show her. So as soon as we did that, within seconds, her mom responded and was so excited, sent back a little video of the little girl thanking him. And in the video, the little girl said, I want to FaceTime with Luke. So I texted back and said, hey, we're available now, or we could set up some time. And as soon as I sent that text, the phone started ringing. So Luke and her had a little FaceTime and chatted together. And then afterwards I talked to her mom, and she's like, thanks so much. Like, I think she really needed that. And I didn't even really realize, it's difficult on all of us and our relationships and our friendships. And we think that, they're little, they don't really understand. But which they don't, but those connections are still so important. And he's been asking to FaceTime with more kids in his class. So I'm like, we'll have to do that more often.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Luke's
It's really sweet to watch.
Get the whole class on a big webinar. I think.
Right. Oh my gosh, that would be too cute.
I don't know what would happen, but it would be interesting.
Yeah. I'd love to listen to that.
That would be very loud, I think.
I know.
It'd be a lot of showing of dinosaurs and Barbies and things, but they were smiling ear to ear, showing each other their toys, and it was really nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
I love that.
So communication, I mean, how has your team been in kind of handling this? And do you also deal with customers? Like, are you answering customers' questions too during this time, or is it really just kind of encapsulated to?
Yeah, our team is pretty much just our internal team. The folks that I talk to on a daily basis are within my organization. We have a group of fantastic customer service representatives who are working from home and trying to answer customers and their needs. For my internal team, we actually underwent a renovation for our office in October. So we had to work from home for an extended period of time. And our group actually had to work the longest because we were sitting in one phase and our new desks were in the second phase. So we had to work from home for 8 weeks, which was a little daunting at first, but we had the tools that we needed. So we really didn't skip a beat. So thankfully, we kind of had that time to really work through any kinks that we would have all working from home. So we've all just kind of laughed and said, I feel like we just kind of slipped back into October, November timeframe, and we're just really working together in that way. So we were really lucky in that aspect that we had the technology that we needed and we were really used to working that way. But at the same time, that was only a small group of marketing. We are a global organization with offices all over the US and in Europe. So to have all of those folks on 2 continents on the VPN at the same time has been a bit of a challenge, but I really have to hand it to our DTS folks who within the first week already got us more capabilities in terms of VPN, split North America onto a different VPN service. And, I knock on wood, we really haven't had any issues and we've been able to do our daily jobs as we would if we were in the office.
Have you had to make, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what VPN is and DTS?
I'm sorry. VPN is just, it gets us onto I'm not sure the acronym, but it gets us onto our network so that we're able to access email, we're able to access any applications in terms of reading reporting and those types of things. It really gets us onto our company's network. And then DTS is our digital transformation team who is able to, any type of IT resources really coming out of that group.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Corey.
Sorry, I'm horrible with acronyms.
No,
everybody knows what I mean.
I'm always like, what does that even mean?
I'm sorry. We always laugh because anytime we talk to anybody outside the company or someone new comes in, they're like, what is this? I'm like, you don't even realize that you're doing it. So
right.
About that.
No, it's good. And have you had to make, since you deal a lot with like the digital platforms and customers coming on there, have you had to make like big changes to your site? Has there been like an influx more of traffic or cancellation? I don't even know how that would work, but have you had to adjust pretty quickly on that?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, especially with it being digital. And our main focus, right, has always been for me is small business, and small business they're being impacted daily. And so we've been trying to figure out, how do we react to that? First, how do we communicate to the customer what their most frequent questions probably are? How do we get ahead of that and make sure that they know that here's who you have to contact for this, here's what's going to happen if you can't pay your bill, like those types of things, and make sure that we're getting ahead of it. And then from, a budget standpoint, making sure that, we're pulling back where we need to, because at this point, so many things are unknown. So many things are unknown within the environment that we're living in. So it's difficult to say how long this is going to last and are those businesses going to make it? So, we have to make sure that we're supporting them. So we're pulling back in terms of, trying to sell to them per se, and really just making sure that we're serving them as much as possible, but still being around from a search perspective. So if they're seeking us out, we're still showing up for them. But a lot of things from like a media new acquisition point of view, we've had to reevaluate.
How have the customers been? I mean, did customer service talk with you about kind of the response, especially since you've taken a leadership position in terms of we're going to serve you rather than try to sell you.
Right.
Been well received, do you think? And because that really shows the heart of the company, saying we're going to really try to provide what we need to provide during this time.
Yeah, I think it's just anecdotal. We really haven't had anything formal, but from what my understanding is, it's just a lot of folks that have obvious concerns. If they have to shut down their doors or they're operating at a limited capacity, they don't know what kind of dollars are coming in. So if that's a question, then the biggest question is, how am I going to pay my bills? That's one of the biggest things that, there's concern about. So I know that, we're trying to work with people in terms of, late fees and those types of things, so that that's not a concern, and we can help, ease that off their mind. But I would say that's probably the biggest thing is, how do I pay my bills, and, will I be here next month or, in the next couple months? And there's just so much uncertainty for everyone that, we're just trying to be supportive and positive as possible.
As a leader in your group, when you talk about being positive and, even though you guys all worked from home, in the fall, it's different now because, we're not able to we're not able to kind of go out and blow off, this of all of this. How as a leader on your team, how do you keep people motivated to, do the good work?
Keep going.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. I think it's just checking in and making sure that everybody has what they need and that they are doing what they need to do, but they're also taking time for themselves. This is really an unprecedented time. I haven't dealt with anything like this before, and I don't think anybody really has. So I think it's just making sure that, people are taking time. If I see somebody online saying, hey, why don't you go outside and go for a walk? Or if it's 4:30, say, I saw you on early. Why don't you go start dinner, or just shut down and do what you need to do for your own mental health, and making sure that you're doing what you need to be doing. I think we actually had a town hall with our CEO, and that was a big message of his as well, is it's very easy to be constantly working when you're at home, because there's really not a differential between your day now. That commute's gone, your personal life is bleeding into your professional life, vice versa, and just making sure that you can maintain that balance.
That's the town hall. I mean, that's probably something I haven't heard yet. I mean, we're seeing a lot of communications. We're doing a lot of communications for CEOs and stuff like that. How did they conduct the town hall for you guys?
Yeah, well, this was actually our second town hall in 2 weeks. They are, I think, trying to be extra communicative. And like I said, we're a global organization. So there's folks that are on there from all over the world. And it's just done via Microsoft Teams. And it's really with our leadership team at home, kind of doing like this, and just talking about, the state of the business, trying to put any rumors to rest, but also being very realistic in what our landscape really is. And that since there is so much unknown, there are questions that they can't answer yet. So I think just trying to keep open communication and transparency has been the directive that they've been leading by. And I think it's been helpful because there's really not been questions about, well, what are we doing? Do I have to worry? Those types of things. And they've been trying to be really, really honest and saying there's some questions that we really don't know the answers to and we'll have to evaluate. But for right now, let's worry about our health, make sure that we're doing what we need to be doing, keep the business going, but also make sure that you're balancing that time that you need for yourself and your family.
Right.
So important. And that's such a good message. Like from a global company, it's so nice to hear that that's their perspective and that's what they're like communicating during this time too. So
absolutely, because they know there's so many people that, maybe they're living with their parents or they're living with somebody that they need to take care of or they have children. And that's the thing that I've seen, that people are, it's so understanding. Like we have meetings like this, you hear kids, they're jumping on the parents' lap, it's and it's kind of nice. Like it's refreshing. I wouldn't have always met my coworkers that aren't in my office, their children, and now I know their names and their toys, and it kind of there's little bright moments in the craziness like that's nice to see, and it kind of brings us all together.
How are you doing?
I'm good. It's weird and different, but it's like I said, I think we're just really trying to focus on the good and say, we have everything we need. And we have our jobs, we have a roof over our head, we have food on our plates. You know, the boys are safe. We're able to, my mom lives nice and close, you know, she's quarantined at her house, but we can still take the boys there so that we're able to perform our jobs. So I think that's really, instead of kind of being like, why we can't go anywhere, you know, and focusing on that. And I also think I've stopped reading the news so much, which I think is also a big help. The first 2 weeks I was constantly bouncing from one site to another. I had it on the TV, and I wanted to know the latest, but at the same time, then it could kind of drive you crazy. So I've really distanced myself from trying to log in and reading the news and watching the news, and just trying to say, okay, like, we'll just take it a day at a time, and, you know, just try to focus on the good.
It's so smart. I think the news is tough because we have to stay on top of it because we're writing communications and putting out those strategic plans, but at the same time, it's like it's hard to. I've been having a hard time separating.
And like, it becomes your life. It becomes what you know.
It does, and it's also scary. Like there's very few bright stories out there. A lot of them are, you know, are scary. So, and they're nothing really new. It's just more, you know, kind of the same thing in terms of, you know, increasing numbers, those types of things. So I'm like, I'm going to take a little break from that. You know, I'll still check in from time to time, but not as consistent and constantly as I was.
What are you guys doing at home at night? Are you cooking something as a family? You had a birthday?
Yes.
Made her own birthday cake.
Yes, we did. Baked a birthday cake. But yeah, I would say a lot of crafts, which I know a lot of parents are doing. I've never really tried to have my kids do too much screen time. So I'm trying to still keep them. We used to watch movies and things like that at night, but trying to make it more, you know, let's go outside and ride our bikes. Let's go do chalk in the driveway. Like, let's do different things like that. And then just really trying to keep a routine, like since they're at my mom's house and she always has activities for them to do. So it kind of gives them a little bit of a sense of normalcy where they're not just sitting at the house. So when they come home, we kind of fall into the routine of when we get home from work. So at least that kind of feels familiar. We make dinner together. We always have dinner together every night. So that's a nice thing that we're able to continue to do. We've been reading more books, trying to do like a little circle time and pretend like we're in school and those types of things. And then just trying to keeping it as normal as possible, I would say.
So what's the number one craft at the Novak house?
Well, they love coloring, which is a big thing. Luke loves to just draw trains and trucks and things like that. So thankfully that's easy because, as you know, mom's not crafty whatsoever. But they like Play-Doh, finger paints, all those types of things. I just ordered a cookie decorating kit from a small business that's close by that I'm going to pick up tomorrow. So, you know, just little things like that to kind of break up any type of what might feel like monotony and give them little things to kind of get excited about.
And are you guys eating out at all? Or are you doing pickup? Or are you trying to cook as much at home as possible?
I would say we're doing a little bit of each. I typically cook like Sunday through Thursday, and then by Thursday I'm like, okay, I'm ready to take a break. So Fridays we usually do takeout, and Saturday, and I would say we've been pretty consistent with that, with everything going on. Trying to support small businesses in the area because they are having the toughest time, and a lot of folks are doing takeout. Some are doing different kits that you can come and make it at your house. So we've done different, we're doing a pasta kit on Saturday from a local place. I'm not sure what we're doing tomorrow yet, but I was thinking fried fish from a local place. Yeah. So I would say probably about 2 nights a week we've been doing like a takeout.
Oh, that's good. You could send it here if you want.
Yeah, we'll box them off for you.
and what about shopping? This is probably my last question. The shopping, I think I have more anxiety now because we used to just, you know, order online or just go whenever. Is one of you going out, or how do you do? Because I know you've got a lot of groceries. You would ship in groceries. How are you doing?
Oh, I still do that. So, the 13th of March was the last day I was in the office, and I was sitting with a coworker, and we already had some coworkers working from home because they were kind of preparing for this. And we were like, well, we're going to go in if this is the last day that we're going to be here and kind of wrap things up. And around 3 o'clock, we were like, maybe we should like prepare, like let's go, like let's leave here and go to the grocery store. So I actually left that Friday and went straight to Shop and Save and did a lot of panic buying and just kind of buying everything that I could see, you know, without taking it from others, but trying to get just things that I wouldn't even normally buy, but I thought I might need. So I did that on March 13th, but I haven't been to a store since. We've done Giant Eagle pickup. I usually do like the Whole Foods delivery, but that was booked for weeks where I couldn't find a window to do that. So thankfully from that first, you know, panic buy, I had a good stock to kind of get us through for a little while. And then have been going between Giant Eagle delivery and then Whole Foods delivery as well. So we haven't been to a grocery store.
And is that working? Like, is there a lot of things that are not in stock, or is everything in stock, or how's that?
No, it's extremely limited. It's limited even from the time that I order and submit it to when they're actually going and pulling the items. A funny story. I was like, I'm going to make a lasagna, and then I'll get some ice cream and stuff for the kids to make Sundays. That'll be like a nice comfort meal. So I went on the app and I'm looking for ground meat and there was nothing but ground lamb. So I'm like, okay, I guess we're going to make it with ground lamb. So I got that. And then the ice cream, there was some kind of birthday cake ice cream. I'm like, not my favorite, but okay, I'll get that. And then I had my phone down for a while and I saw that a whole bunch of substitutions came in that I didn't have time to really look at. So we ended up having lamb spaghetti because there was nothing else and then guava sorbet. Because that's all that they had left. So that's now Luke's favorite dessert. After dinner every night, he's like, can I have guava sorbet? I'm like, we don't have any more, but it's good to know that that's something you like. So we're really expanding our palette here in the Novak house.
That's hilarious.
With everything
guava
that's happening.
Sorbet. That's awesome.
Well, Steph, I'm glad that you guys are safe, and I appreciate. I'm glad that you gave me that advice, because I was like, I have to go this weekend where we have nothing. We're on low on everything.
So you're gonna double up on the guava sorbet?
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna be doing. I don't know. Tell Luke he's not gonna be able to find it because
we bought them all. Yeah.
Yes, all done.
Sorry, Luke. Sorry. But thank you for doing this today, and you look just beautiful. And
no, it's great to see you girls. It's been a while, so I've been looking forward to this.
Come on anytime.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So thank you so much. Stay safe.
Thank you.
We will celebrate your birthday properly when all of this lifts. So that was
sounds good. I look forward to it.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thanks, you too. Bye-bye.